So on behalf of the Inner Wheel Club of Coventry, I'd like to welcome Father Moses to join us today. Father Moses is going to tell us about the orphanage from his own village, or orphans from his own village in South Sudan, and how that's been progressing. He's also going to tell you about the work being done by Rose. She's one of the ones that used to be in the orphanage. And it's her work that I want to support this year as my charity of the year. So thank you, Father Moses, for joining us. And over to you. You want me to share the screen with the video, with the PowerPoint?
Yes, please, if you can do so.
I will do so. Let's just make you.
Right. Okay.
Get rid of that.
Oh, it's not.
Can you all see that okay?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
No. Still got that. This meeting is being recorded. What do I do there?
Just press OK at the left. Continue. Just press continue.
Where's continue?
Okay.
Where's continue?
Don't worry, it will continue. Are you all okay? Are you ready, Father?
Yes, I am. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much to you all for inviting me to attend this meeting. Are you getting me?
Yes, thank you, Father.
Yeah, and thank you to Janet, especially for inviting me to share with you, giving this opportunity indeed to share about our journey. I want to share with you, as Janet has already mentioned, today briefly about the support we have been giving to the children who are orphans and those who are destitute. Children from South Sudan, and they've been moved to Uganda. I believe, or perhaps most of you have already heard about the situation in the South Sudan. South Sudan is the youngest nation in the world, but it has been undergoing a lot of difficulties, trials in so many ways. Although they got their independence in 2011, today we still have a lot of problems. But today I just want to share with you of some success stories. In 2011, we took, 2004, we took some orphan children from Lokiliri village in South Sudan and were taken to the orphanage in Uganda, a place called Moyo. And those children have been there since 2004 until today. If you can see the map, just there, you can see from far end on the left, you can see in green, that's South Sudan. And you can see the orange, that is Uganda. So those kids moved from that place, from South Sudan to Uganda, since that year 2004. If you can see the map there, they moved from South Sudan above. Yeah, you can see above there to there's a very tiny area there called Moyo. That's at the beginning, out to Moyo. It may be very tiny for you to see, but what is important for us just to share today is how these children have journeyed right from that very difficult time. Most of them are orphans already, either lost both of their parents or one parent, or some of them have just been abandoned or left uncared for by their family. And it was providential that it is the congregation of the Sacred Heart Sisters who are running the orphanage in Uganda were able to accept my request that if they can help some of those children and care for them, and they took. And it is since that time, they've been caring for them. Also, some of those children, which I'm going to talk about, have been in the refugee camp. The situation in South Sudan has driven so many people, or millions of people, out of the country, and they went to different places. And the nearby place for them was Uganda. And most of those people went and settled there in the camp. You might have heard or watched on the television, the situation in the camp there was never good at all. Any situation of refugee is not never good at all, because they're mostly left there by themselves, and they do not have even much support, even if they were refugees. One of those children who were taken to the orphanage in 2004 is Rose. You can see the picture there, Rose Moyo. She's now in her lecture room. Rose was taken there when she was just, I think, 7 years old. There's a, if you can see, can you put the photo, the next one? Yeah, if you can see there, no, back, Janet. Yes, if you can see there, that's the picture when they were already 2 years in the orphanage. And Rose is far there by herself, raising a right hand on high. Rose is raising her right hand as she's playing in the school. That was just when she was 2 years already in the orphanage. Go back, Janet, to that, yeah. Rose, yeah, Rose, it started from very, very far. Go to the next one. If you can see far on the end, on the left-hand side, there is a 5-month baby carried on the arms of a little girl. It was that girl who, you can see her standing in the middle, 1.5 years later there. That girl, I brought her from the village in South Sudan, my village, where she was rescued after the mother was killed, and she was wounded with a bullet remaining on her leg. I happened to move to go to South Sudan on my holiday, and I found that girl there in the village, and I've rescued her to bring her to Uganda. And it was from that time that I started my connection with that orphanage, and she was taken there to that orphanage. And the three standing on the far end, on the left-hand side, the tallest one is the eldest sister, who is carrying her little sister Amu, while as the other two is standing just with her, Namoyo and Leju. They are brought to the orphanage just to look after that little one. And from there, those of Rose were brought. Next, please. Those of Rose were brought with other people there, so there are about 13 of them who are brought into that orphanage. The purpose from that moment, and my intention was, orphanage is not just to care for them, but to give them some education. And our support to the orphanage was to support them with some educational facilities or educational tools. And I'm so glad to say a person like Janet from the parish and other members of the parish have been so helpful to give some little thing that could be given to support those children there with their education in the orphanage and those schools wherever they've been going to. Go back again, Janet. Back, yeah. No, just in the middle one. About the little girl, yes. So that little girl, the Amu, the one we brought when she was only 4 months old. You can see her on the right-hand side is standing with a red t-shirt. She's now about 16 years old girl, and she's doing very well. She's extremely happy. And I just want to say, of course, thank you to all those who have been supporting to those orphan children. Amu is now doing very well, and she is undergoing higher education in a very special way. Next, Janet. And next again. Yeah, so those children, next again. Yeah. Rose was very successful in her school. And you see, you can see her standing in their secondary school uniform in the class. God gave her intelligence, let me say. She was gifted girl in the school, and she outperformed almost everybody in the class. And because of her talent, she was awarded a scholarship by a certain organization there in Uganda. And she was taken care by that organization. And from that moment, she went on until today. Now, next one, Janet. Until today, she has gone to the camp, and she has been now from the camp. You can say there are most of the refugees camp for those people who have been displaced from South Sudan, and they went to refuge in Uganda. And when she was in orphanage, she used to visit those people there in that camp and see the condition of those children living there in the camp, just as she saw the condition in the orphanage. Sometimes later, before the pandemic, she, of course, was sponsored in the university, and now she's studying in the Gulu University. And from there, in the Gulu University, Rose, having experienced a lot of difficulties, and so the challenges the children are having in the orphanage as well as in the camp, she came with a plan, and she shared that plan with me, that she wants to take, if possible, in her place where she's studying at university, she has a little place, and she's been getting a little money. So she saved some little money, and she wants to get those children out of orphanage, and some of those kids who are in the camp to a certain place where they will have their own freedom, where they will have their own comfort. And she went ahead to hire a house. Go next. So there, she got a place in a Gulu, and she not bought a house, she hired a house, rented a house, and brought those children from orphanage and some from the refugee camp to stay with her in that place, to give them a little bit of freedom. And those are some of the children you can see standing there. Now she's taking care of the children. In total, there are about 16 of them, but she's taking care of those children. How is she doing it? It's so difficult. Those who sponsored her in the university, she knew the suffering of the children in the camp and as well as in the orphanage. The little money which is given to her for her as a pocket money, she had been saving that money in order to care for those children. It is that money she used to hire a house, to rent a house for those kids. Yeah. And she brought that plan. She thought, maybe if I can help, and then those children will have more freedom, even better education than in the orphanage.
Oh, I'm just.
And that's exactly what we did. Now, as we are speaking, those children are living there. If you can move next, Janet. Yeah. So we got a mother who had been in the camp. So she came to help to look after these children. When Rose is in university, that lady called Rosetta Wasuk, who is now the mother to those children, she cares for them and she look after them. Can we move next? Besides those little children, there are also other girls who are there now, who have been in the orphanage, and they are now there in that house. As I mentioned to you, that about 17 of them in total is staying in that place. So you can see those ones, they're all going to school, and they're doing, of course, they're big now. You can say like Agnes is 17 years old, but she's still in year 5, primary school. You can say Namoyo, they're 19 years old, but she's still in she has just finished the primary school. She's just primary, going to senior 1, but she is 19 years old. So those children started the school very, very late. These are the ones who moved from the camp. There was never any school in the village that they could really do well. But going to the camp also provided opportunity for them to study. And that because of that, when they came now to that place, they were able to support them. But of course, let us go here. You can see that Rose is standing there with her colleagues. She is in the university, the one who have been planning so much about this issue and how she wants those children to be supported and how she gave. But this is her own class now in the university. And that's where she came with that idea and a plan. Go next. Far end, you can see on the left is a nun, a religious nun. That's the nun who was taking care of them in the orphanage. She still supports them where they are. She comes to support Rose where Rose is because she wants those children to settle real well. That is Sister Pasqua, and she had been journeying together with Rose and myself and all those who are caring for those children. So in that place where they are relocated, she continued to go and help them. Yeah, the most important thing, of course, as I already mentioned, some of those children who are in the orphanage are very successful. Rose is already studying university, and one of them is there, is a Mary, whom we have been supporting a lot in education. She just graduated in the University of Kisubi, the Catholic University. She studied journalism and mass communication, and we are very pleased that she's able to achieve that. If you can go ahead, yeah. That is an empty ground you can see there. But where I wanted to talk about that is the plan of Rose, as I say, is a success story. Rose is thinking a lot. She's doing agriculture in the university. And as she brought those children there and they bought that place, that area is very fertile and it can produce a lot of food. So what she did is she hired a land where she cultivated a lot of those. You can see there, she will clear, and then you can see beans. You can see what she's doing there. You can see she's growing groundnuts and maize. They produce a lot of food from the garden. So now she's not buying any food this time because there's plenty. And so far what they've been doing since they relocated that place, we try to support them to develop that agriculture in a better way so that the education of those children, the orphan children, once they cultivated well, they can sell some of those products or produce. Yeah, so that we can sell and educate those children. Those are some of the kids now within that place, but they're going to the local schools next there. While also, of course, they're helping and producing a lot from the garden or from the farm where they do those agriculture. You can see them, they are working so hard, they can do that in that place. So that's Rose working really hard and make sure that the children maybe are supported. So today, just what I wanted to share with you, just those pictures and that plan of Rose and what we really wanted to do and to help her in that sense. So it's just a success story. Just I want to share about Rose, who journeyed from deep from South Sudan in a very difficult situation, going to the orphanage where she endured a lot of suffering, but yet God has given her that strength and the talent to go through all that. And she never kept that alone by herself. She thought, if I'm able to be successful by this time, why can I not share my talents with others? And Rose is now trying to put her talent into use to help some of those children who are in the orphanage and those children who have been coming from the refugee camp, to get them a comfortable place so that they are happy, and above all, to continue to educate them with the help, of course, from the other people, and to do that also to secure from them some food. That's why she started some of those agricultural farms where they could have some produce sell and continue to educate those children in so many ways. So that is briefly what I can share with you. I know you've been there sitting for a long time, and I don't want to go ahead. I want to say thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much, Janet, for giving me that opportunity. I wish if it was face-to-face sharing would be really very good. But I just want to give you this chance to ask me some questions. And if there's anything you want me to clarify, I'll be very pleased. Janet, thank you very much.
Talk. And the children look so happy and well looked after. And you seem as if you're doing a wonderful job over there. And we thank you so much for your talk today. Thank you.
Thank you.